Good news on the inflation front. The consumer price index, also known as CPI, actually came in lower than was forecasted, which is a good thing. That's going to help us obviously pay less for goods, and we're measuring the goods that we spend money on, and that's what the CPI does. We're measuring, the cost of shelter, fuel, clothing, all our day-to-day expenses. As we look at a basket of those goods, what did it cost last month compared to this month? And the inflation slowed a little bit, which is good. The Fed is going to lower the Fed funds rate at some point or increase it. You never know. If the inflation numbers come in higher, the core CPI number is a number that the Fed looks at. And that's a measurement of the goods that we spend money on a monthly basis, excluding energy and food, because the Fed doesn't have as much control over food and energy. So that's the one measurement that they're really looking at. So let's take a deeper dive on what that looks like. The core CPI number came in at 3.1%, which is good, especially when you consider 2 years ago we were at 5.5%. The Fed's target is 2%, so we're closer to it, but still got a ways to go. So the year-over-year core CPI reading in February, it came in at 0.2%, or rounded to 0.2%, but it actually was 0.227% if you look at all the way out to the 1000s. And I try to look at this stuff just because I'm a finance nerd, but forecasting, what does that look like in the future? If we total all this up, it's 3.1%. But we're looking at a 12-month reading, all the 12-month readings. We're adding it together, and that's what we come up with, 3.1%. So good news, in March, we have another reading. This big number comes off, the 0.383. So chances are we'll continue to have lower inflation readings. The only thing we're stuck with is last month we had a 0.446 reading. So it'll take obviously 12 months from that January reading to get rid of that reading. But as we're forecasting, we have essentially to hit a 2% mark on the core PCE, we need a 0.167 reading on a 12-month basis. So if we average that for 12 months, we're there. We hit 2%. And we have had some readings under that 0.167%, which is good. We need more of them. Seems tough, but I did look at a measurement from the last decade, and from 2010 to the end of 2019, we were actually at 0.155 reading. So that would have kept us at that 2% reading that the Fed likes. I know we're a little ways away from it, but I figured, let's look at that and see what kind of forecasting we can do. Maybe we're not through the thick of all the inflation yet, but it does have an effect on, what the interest rates will be and what the Fed charges for the Fed funds rate. So as we're looking at potentially lower interest rates, what does that mean for you as far as buying power for a home or refinancing? The U.S. has a record high credit card debt balance. It's astronomical. We also have auto loans that we have a record in late payments right now. And we also have a record in equity in homes. So if you are one of those lucky people that has equity in your home and you did need to look at a refinance or a home equity line of credit, my team and I can help you with that. So just wanted to put that out there, and also just go through what the CPI looks like and hopefully how it affects us in a good way in the future. Lower readings hopefully will mean lower interest rates. But that's all I got for this one. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'm going to keep these pumping out. So appreciate it.